Are you getting ready for your viva examination? Here are our top 5 tips to prepare you to ace your PhD defense. Welcome back once again. As always, I'm Dean for My Progress, and today we're giving you our top 5 tips to help you prepare for your PhD defense. Now, like most students, you're going to have a mixture of anxiety and excitement for finally getting to this core milestone where you're going to sit in front of examiners and defend your PhD. This can definitely be cause for a lot of concern with some students, especially those with general anxieties about speaking in front of others, but you don't have to worry. A good PhD supervisor will be talking you through this process, sitting you down, having those mock examinations. But to supplement that, in this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips to help increase your chances of absolutely smashing your viva. So if you're ready to make the most of your defense, keep watching. And before we get to tip 1, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out a lot. The first and probably the most important tip is to really understand the process. Ask yourself, do you fully understand what the viva entails? Do you know how long it is? Do you know the types of questions that are going to be asked? Now, you might start by reading about the viva on the internet. You might also want to reach out to your supervision team and your college to get a better understanding about your institutional specific requirements. But most of all, reach out to other academics. Everyone will have gone through this viva process, and it's really useful to get their opinions and their experiences. The more you know, the better you can prepare yourself for either walking in those doors or, in 2023, turning on that Zoom call. As a side note, if you are taking your PhD examination remotely using either Zoom or Teams or Skype, then make sure to ask your college whether there's anything specific you need to know about the process. What do you anticipate doing on the day of your viva? My second tip, and I know you'll be doing this, is to make sure you're revisiting your PhD thesis. Of course, as soon as you submit your thesis, you're going to see mistakes. Hopefully these are only going to be typos or formatting issues, but I've seen a number of times when it suddenly dawned on somebody that they've written something incorrectly. They've given the wrong interpretation of data, or, and fingers crossed this does not happen to you, they may have calculated some data incorrectly. By going through this process, refreshing yourself with the literature, and even checking out some hot off the press research papers, this will allow you to go into your viva fully prepared. Make sure you can fully explain some of your key theories very eloquently and concisely. Make sure you can articulate some of the key findings from those baseline papers that underpin your dissertation. And most of all, be able to specify what your unique contributions to knowledge are. If you can speak these with confidence, it becomes easier to convey the impact of your thesis to your examiners. As a side note, please don't worry if you do find a mistake in your dissertation. Either your examiners won't notice, they've got a lot to read through, or they'll pick you up on it in a question, and then you can have your answer already prepared. It's not the end of the world by any means, and shows that you've been meticulous with revising for your viva. Our third tip is practice, practice, practice. Hopefully your supervision team will invite you to a mock viva where they can ask some of the most poignant questions that they expect your examiners to ask. Or hopefully your college might be putting on workshops where students get a chance to ask each other some of those core questions. However, if you find yourself in a state where this is not possible, please don't worry. Draw on your peers or wider support network. Give them a list of questions that you expect to be asked, and practice and practice and practice giving clear and concise answers. In the viva itself, you might stumble, you might stutter, and that's perfectly okay. They don't anticipate that you've practiced each and every aspect of your viva exam. But if you can nail down some of those fine-tuned questions and answers, that's half the work done on the day. Our fourth tip is to seek support. Here, you might want to lean on friends and family to get that real emphasis of positivity as you walk into your viva. Be open about your fears and worries. It's perfectly acceptable to have anxieties at this point. Understand that you have a wealth of support around you, and start to appreciate that your viva is just the next step, the next milestone to reaching your ultimate career goals. This is the point where hopefully your external mentors and your supervisors can step forward and congratulate you in terms of how much hard work they know you've already put into your PhD thesis. Hopefully they'll also be able to give you some hints and tips about preparing for that big day. And finally, our fifth tip is to try your best to get yourself into a positive frame of mind when you walk into that viva. Try and stay calm and try and stay relaxed. That might be easier said than done. However, there are some steps that you can take to start to control that day. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Make sure you're eating healthily. Make sure you're getting that physical exercise in, which we know PhD students start to lose throughout their PhD journey. Avoid working and rereading your thesis late into the night. Make sure your viva preparations doesn't eat into that social and family time which we should be holding so dear. You'll never feel like you've done enough, but trust me, you have. If you can go into your viva feeling positive, feeling healthy, then that's ultimately only going to contribute to increasing your chances of success. And the bonus take-home message is that you should be treating this like a discussion. Your examiners have read your dissertation. They know what it takes to be a PhD student, and they know what it takes to get to the stage that you are now. They're not there to scare you. They're not there to demean you. All they want to do is to pry into your knowledge, try and gauge your understanding of your work and the wider field more generally, and hopefully at the end of it, welcome you into the academy. Use this as a platform to show that knowledge which you know that you have. Be confident in articulating your responses. And when you don't know the answer, put your hand up and say, I'm sorry, I don't know that. However, it would be interesting to explore in the future. I really hope you've taken some value out of today's video. To recap, make sure you understand the process. Make sure that you've read and reread your PhD. Understand that literature like the back of your hand. Practice by bringing in other peers and scholars to help support you in preparing for your viva. Seek that positive affirmation and social support. And finally, make sure you're looking after your own health and well-being. Don't go into that PhD tired and fed up from the off. As always, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've been Dean for My Progress, and let me know in the comments down below what your PhD experiences are, or if you've got your viva coming up. Hopefully we can lend some added support and good luck. We know you can do it.